Action.
Hi, so we will do a series of postures again to open up and bring space to the hips and hamstrings, and then do a couple of things including some balancing postures to help build the strength. So starting in downward facing dog, pressing through your fingertips, fingers spread wide, lengthening the spine, hips reach towards the ceiling. You can bend into your knees if you'd like, or bend into one knee and the other, swaying out the hips. Shoulders draw away from the ears. And then coming back to a downward facing dog. We'll prepare for pigeon pose. So lift your right heel towards the sky on an inhale. And on your exhale, draw your right knee towards your right wrist, dropping your back knee, walking your left foot back, and untuck your toes. You can bring your right heel close to your hip if you need to. It doesn't need to be out completely at a parallel with the top of your mat. So in this pose, again, you want to feel like you're squaring your hips towards the front of the mat so you're not off to the side. If you need to, you can bring a block or a blanket under your right hip to help with that alignment. Look back over your right shoulder. Make sure your ankle isn't splaying in or out and your leg is straight. You can squeeze the glutes here for proper alignment. And then starting to walk your fingertips back towards your hips to first lengthen your spine, open your chest, shoulders draw down. And then when you're ready, on your exhale, you can slowly start to fold forward, opening your hip here. You can come down to a block. You can come down to your forearms. Taking your time in this pose, it takes a while for the hips to open. Your spine stays long and straight. Crown of the head extends forward. And breathe. Taking as long as you need to here to start to open the hips. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Relaxing your jaw, your neck, your forehead. Take one more breath. And then on your next inhale, you can slowly start to walk your way back up. Press back into a three-legged down dog, so your right heel will lift towards the sky, and then bend at your right knee. You can open your hip here, do some hip circles. Your shoulders stay even here so you're not too far out to the side, and then come back to a downward facing dog. We'll do the other side, lifting your left heel towards the sky on an inhale. On your exhale, left knee draws towards your left wrist. Again, your left foot can be at a diagonal here as much as it needs to be. Looking over your left shoulder to make sure your ankle stays in line with your knee. Back leg is straight and strong. First, start to walk your fingertips back towards your hips. Again, you can bring a block or a blanket underneath of your left hip if you need it. Extending your spine, squaring your hips. Inhale here. And then when you're ready, slowly start to fold forward, taking your time. Taking long, deep breaths. You can grab a block again if you'd like, if that helps. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Relaxing your neck, your face. Long, slow inhales into your hip. And then releasing on the exhales. Maybe come up a little bit on your inhale to lengthen your spine. Fold a little bit deeper on your exhales. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Again, in any of these poses, if you feel like you'd like to stay longer, feel free to do so. And then on your next inhale, you can start to walk your way back up. Press back into a three-legged down dog. So your left heel lifts towards the sky, bend at your knee, take some circles, and just open your hip here. And then we'll meet back in a downward facing dog. On an inhale, you can tiptoe or step your right foot to the front of the mat, coming between your hands, coming into pyramid pose. So step your left foot in about halfway on the mat here. So your right toes face the front of the mat, left toes are at a 45-degree angle facing the left corner of your mat. Both legs are straight here. And if you have two blocks, you can grab both of those if you need to and put them on either side. So first, putting your hands on your hips, drawing your right hip back so your spine lengthens and your hips are square towards the front of the mat. You can place a slight bend into your right knee if you need to. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then on your exhale, you can slowly start to fold forward. Both legs are straight here unless you need a slight bend in your right knee. Drawing your left hip forward. Again, two blocks would be perfect here. Breathe, stretching out the back of the right leg. And then if you'd like, you can remove the blocks, start to tiptoe your fingertips forward, coming off the mat with your left foot, coming into a standing split. So your right leg stays straight and strong, hips stay square and level, just feeling the back of the right leg open up here. And then we'll come back to standing. And then coming to the other side. So left toes face the front of the mat, right foot steps back about halfway. Again, you're on train tracks here rather than your feet being in line with each other. That helps with stability of the pose. Right toes face the right corner of the mat, left toes face the front. Inhale to lengthen your spine, and then exhale, slowly start to fold forward, left hip drawing back to keep your hips level. Two blocks are great in this pose. Breathe, opening up the back of the left leg. Meeting yourself where you are. If you need to bend into your left knee here, totally fine. Extending your spine long. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Relaxing your jaw. And then if you'd like, come into your standing split, walk your fingertips forward, and then release the right foot off the mat and fold forward over your left leg as much as you can or need to. You can do blocks here as well. Again, just opening up the back of the left leg. And then coming back to center, slowly come up with a flat back to standing. So now that we've opened up the hips some and the hamstrings, we'll start to do some strengthening poses. Coming to the top of your mat, big toes are together, heels are slightly apart. Inhale, arms reach overhead, hips come low, sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. So stay here in your chair, look down and make sure you can see your big toes over your knees. If not, draw your knees back some. Shoulders are down the back. Hips stay square here. Start to bring the weight into your heels. That will build some strength here in the back of your legs. breathe. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to your hips, maybe sit a little bit lower. And then we'll start to do a little bit more strength here. So staying in your chair, just keep bending into both knees without letting your hips come off level here to either side. Start to tap your toes to the right and then bring them back in and continue that movement. Keeping the left hip stable so you're not dumping into it. Starting to feel the strength build a little bit more. See if you can do about 8 to 10 on either side. Spine stays straight and long. You can bring your arms over your head if you'd like for a little bit more challenge. And then once you've done the right side, we'll do the left side. Inhale, left toes tap out to the left, and then they come back in. Keep breathing. You can use your hands on your hips to feel that both hips are level and it's not dumping like this. About 8 to 10 on this side. And then once you feel like you're complete on both sides, coming back to chair pose, big toes together. Inhale, arms reach overhead, sit low. And then exhale, come to standing, hands to heart center. We'll do one more posture to help build some strength in the hips. So come to the front of your mat. I'll face this way so you can see a little bit better. Coming into tree pose. Starting to bring the weight into your left foot. I'll try to mirror you here so you can see. Standing leg is straight and strong, so starting to bend into your right knee, coming into your tree. So you can bring your toes to the earth if you'd like, and your heel to the inside of your calf for a little bit of a kickstand. Totally fine. You can start to bring your foot maybe into the inside of your calf, or if you'd like, working your way to the inside of your thigh. Try to stay away from being on the knee here. That's just not very stable. So meeting yourself where you are. Left leg is straight and strong. So use your legs as leverage here. So press through the sole of your right foot into your leg as you press back with your leg to help with stability. That'll help with alignment here. Maybe bring your hands to heart center. Trying not to let the hips sway to the side. That helps with the strength. If you fall out, just get right back in. That's what balancing postures are for. And breathe. Crown of the head reaches tall. Standing leg is straight and strong. Maybe starting to extend your arms, shoulders away from the ears. Keep pressing through the inside of your leg into your foot to help build that hip strength. And then try not to let your right foot touch the earth. Releasing tree pose, we're going to come right into warrior 3. So release your foot from your leg, extending it long behind you. Bending at the waist, flat back here. Keep your right toes flexed, coming as far forward as you can. No need to force it here. Again, think about keeping your hips level. You can put your hands on your hips, hands at heart center. Maybe airplane arms, shoulders draw down and back. Standing leg is straight and strong. Breathe, feel the strength building in your legs. And then when you're ready, come back to standing. Maybe shake it out and come into the other side. Starting to bring the weight into your right foot. Bend at your left knee, again coming into whatever variation You can, or you did on the other side. Using the inside of your foot and the inside of your leg as leverage to push against each other. Opens your chest, keeps alignment. Hands to heart center. Breathe. Extending the crown of your spine, or the crown of your head tall. Maybe start to extend your arms. Challenging your balance. If you feel like you're falling out, maybe find something on the floor about 5 or 6 feet in front of you to gaze at. That'll help with your balance, something that's not moving. Keep thinking about alignment. Breathe. Stay here as long as you need to, and then preparing for warrior 3 on the other side. So releasing your foot from your leg. You can bring your hands back to heart center without letting your foot touch the earth. Start to bend forward as you release your left foot back. Keeping your toes flexed, hips stay in line with each other, so your right hip is in line with your left hip, so you can put your hands on your hips to feel that. Standing leg is straight and strong. Shoulders draw away from the ears. You can take the same variation with the hands that you did on the other side. Feeling the strength build in your hips, your glutes, the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, you can slowly release back to standing. Shake it out. And then if you'd like, you can come back to a seated position. Again, you can sit on a block if you'd like. And hopefully those are some additional postures that help open your hips, your hamstrings, and then build that strength. And I hope this helps. Namaste.